Alright farmers, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be having a look at some new mods. So first up in front of us, excuse the landscaping because that is quite shocking, is this one here. This is Small Bunker Silo by Camilo 0397, 3.58 megabyte on the download, and it's obviously, as the name would suggest, a bunker silo. Now to find this, you're going to need to go into your construction menu and under silos. There we are, 22 grand to buy. It's got a 300,000 litre capacity, and obviously you're going to use it for doing your chaff. Not much more else to say about that. It's alright. Small bunker silo. That's by Camilo 0397. Alright, next up we've got Land Bakery by LSMT Modding Team Stefan. 3.20 megabyte on the download, and it's a bakery. So you're going to find this again in the construction menu under productions and factories. There we are, 50 grand to buy, and you're going to use this to do your bread and your cakes. So we've got here, this is your load in point, this is your pallet spawn point, this is your water unload point, and then around the front is your production chain menu spanner point, whatever you want to call it. That's alright, that is. Land, how'd you say that? Land Bakery. Now I'm not trying to pronounce German because I'll just butcher it and excellent. It's alright, that is. Nice little keeping, sort of house baking from home style. Excellent. Land Bakery by LSMT Modding Team Stefan. Alright, next up we've got the English Barn Pack by Lancey Boy. 13.53 megabyte on the download, and you get these three sheds here. So if we go into the shop menu and into construction again, under buildings and sheds, there we are. So we've got 140.5 grand for the large shed at the end. We then got 90 grand for the middle shed, and then 45 grand for the lawn barn. So go up to it. Obviously you can open this door here, and then the side door. Must be the space inside. Once you get sort of a bit of way in, you get the option to turn the lights on. Now on this one, the smaller lawn shed, you also get the light turn on option outside as well. Although there's not really any lights outside. It does change a little bit there in front of you. Oh well, never mind. Now down the side of this one, you have got a little open area you can park your tractors or equipment under. Obviously you've got the light turn on option there as well. Excellent. Obviously we'll go into the second one, so we'll open the doors up like so. It's the same thing again. Once you get far enough in, you get the turn on shed lights option. Bit bigger space inside. You want to store your equipment in here, or even use it as a root crop storage. Very nice indeed. And then the third one in the pack, it's a little different. Obviously you've got this open area here, so we turn the lights on, park some equipment in, and we can open this door and this side door. Another enclosed area if you want to use it for your root crop storage. Right, that door as well, why not? And then on this side you can open that side door and the big door, and this has got a workshop in it. So you pull in your equipment. Obviously that's a fairly decent size opening, so you should be able to get everything in here. Pull it into that little hatched marking area, and then into the spanner in the corner. There you are. That's your workshop trigger. Excellent. I like them there. Very nice indeed. So that's the English Farm Pack by Lancey Boy. Right, next up we've got the Water and Diesel IBC. This is by Farmer22, 1.16 megabyte on the download, and these are obviously tanks to store your diesel and water. So you're going to find these in the shop menu under pallets. We'll scroll along to the end. There we are. So it's 300 for the water one and 2.5 grand for your diesel. So the water's got a capacity of 2,000 litres, and the diesel's got a capacity of 2,000 litres as well. So if you want to simulate having a little storage area on your farm, these look alright, these do. Nicely detailed. Excellent. That's the water and diesel IBC by Farmer22. Right, next up we've got the Cavernland AB853 by DB Modding, 4.63 megabyte on the download, and it's a plough. So if we go into the shop menu again, we'll go into ploughs and then scroll along. There we are. 6 grand to buy. It's got a 1.3 meter working width. That's tiny. Absolutely tiny. But then again, it only requires 65 horsepower from your tractor. So obviously if you've got older machinery on the go, this could be quite nice indeed. There's no options on it. It comes as it is. So we'll jump into this tractor. Start it up. So we'll pull up to the field. When you're ready, there we are. Right. So if you're on Xbox like me, L, B and B to lower it down. And away you go. Ploughing at 1.3 metre wide. Well, that's not even as wide as this tractor. Anyway, that's the Cavernland AB853 by DB Modding. Right, next up we've got the Chrono Profi liner flatbed by Agrotron Modding, 3.40 megabyte on the download, and it is this trailer. Now you're going to find this in the shop under bale loaders. So we'll scroll along. There we are, 21.5 grand to buy as standard. Then you've got a couple of options. Change the chassis. It's always a hard word to say, that is. We'll change that to red. Change the chassis colour. Design colour, we'll change that to blue. We'll change those parts on it. And then rim colour, obviously changes the rims. So you go with whatever colour combination you want to. Right, so I've got this hooked up to this man truck. Now there's no options for it. It is just a flatbed, low loader, whatever you want to call it. There's no auto load options, so you're going to have to put them on manually. Obviously if you do RB and right stick in, that'll put the tension belts on like so, just to keep everything nicely tied down. Excellent. Obviously there's no load capacities or anything like that. So right, that is, you could put all sorts of stuff on that, pallets and everything. Excellent. Right, that's the Chrono Profi liner flatbed by Agrotron Modding. Right, next up we got the Cockling Trio 300M Cultivator by Puzzcap, 4.00 megabyte on the download, and it's a cultivator. So if we go into the shop under cultivators, we'll scroll along till we get it. There we are, 25 grand to buy. Requires 140 horsepower from your tractor, and it's a 3 meter working width. So it's another entry into the 3 meter aficionado fan page book. I don't even know where I was going with that comment. Anyway, we'll jump into this tractor. We'll start it up. L, B and B. Lower it down. And away we go. Yeah, cultivating 3 meter wide. Excellent. So that's the Cockling Trio 300M by Puzzcap. Right, next up we've got the Back Grabber Loader by EY Modding, 1.93 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find this under the shop menu miscellaneous. So if we scroll along, there we are, 6 grand to buy. You've got two options. You can either have it for the sugar beet and potato, or you can have it bulk. So obviously if you're doing your root crop, you use that one. If you're doing your bulk crop or straw or hay or whatever else you're doing, you get the bulk one, because obviously that closes in the sides. Then you've got main colour. We'll change anything onto there, so we'll put a nice bright pink. change the frame. Then design colour, as you can probably already imagine, it's going to change the colour of the bucket. So you go for whichever combination you like. Right, so let's jump in. So first up, we've got LB and right stick up and down is obviously up and down. And then LB and RB together and right stick up and down will open and then close the bucket. There you are. If you've got some stuff you want to get off the ground, use one of these. Excellent. So that's the back grab loader by EY Modding. Right, so next up we got this one here. This is the Anaberger HTS 20.12 by Vertex Design, 11.01 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find this in the shop menu under trailers. So we'll scroll along till we find it. There we are. So 29 grand to buy. You've got a couple of options on it. Comes as standard like that. You can then add a cover, and that's got an 18,600 litre capacity as the standard version. Then you can add an extension that takes it to 25,200 litre capacity, and an extension with the cover. And obviously you got the wheel brands and tyres, give you different options on the tread patterns really. Then you got ladder without, or standard ladder, or platform. Then you've got the attacher on the front. You can have top attacher or low attacher. And then we spin around the back. We've got standard as it is under the protection. You can then have without impact protector, without fenders, without protection at all, or back to standard. Then you've got main colour will change to galvanized metal or corrugated metal. Change those side parts there. And then the cover colour, obviously it's going to change the cover colour and change your license plates if you want it. Right, so if we jump in here, obviously LB and left on the D-pad is going to open the cover for you. Then if we go and unload here, if you have got an area where you're unloading into that's got a low roof, you might want to think again about using this, because obviously as you can see it tips up quite high, so you are going to get caught on the roof. That being said, it's alright though, that is. In 29 grand gives you what, 25,000 litre capacity with the extension. It's alright, that is. That's the Anaberger HTS 20.12 by Vertex Design. Right, next up we've got the Lizard Durus 60 foot harvester header by Hispano, 18 megabyte on the download, and as you can imagine you're going to find it in the shop menu under headers. So we'll scroll along till we find it. There we are. 167 grand to buy. Well, 168 grand all bar it a few pence. 18.2 meter working width. It's going to run at 6 miles an hour. Now the options you've got there are without guides or with guides. You can then have the coupler configuration, Agco Ideal, John Deere X9 1100, Class Lexion 8900, Agco Ideal is the original one. So there we are. Got the, was it 3? 1, 2, 3. 3 options on there. Then the main colour, obviously you can go with whatever harvester you're using. Put it on the class one. We'll change the main bulk of it. And the design colour, we'll do the same. We'll put it as a red. We'll change the end parts. And then the rim colour, we'll change the colour of the rims. Obviously that adds a little bit more to the price, but there you are. 18.2 meter working with, that's brilliant. You can have to smash those fields out, no problem. Love it. Lizard Durus 60 foot by Hispano. Right, next up we got this here in front of us, the Lizard TRA 500 by Agrotron, 6.44 megabyte on the download, and it's a quad bike. So you're going to find this in the shop menu under cars. So we'll scroll along to find it. There we are. 13 grand to buy to start off with. There is a few options on there. So obviously you've got your wheel brands and different style tyres on it. Then you got the handlebar. You got handlebar 1, 2, 3 and 4. Then you got bumper style 1, 2, 3 and 4. And then you got design, standard, or with a roof. Then again, why would you put a roof on a quad bike? It's a bit random, isn't it? And then attachers round the back, you've got standard, design 1, design 2, design 3, and back to standard. And on the engine setup, you got 40 km/h, 60, 80, 100 and 120 km/h on a quad bike. It's a bit dangerous, isn't it? Anyway, main colour, change to any one of those. We'll change the main colour. Then design colour, we'll change that to a purple. We'll change like the suspension parts and springs and all them sort of gubbins underneath. Rim colour, we'll obviously change the rims. And that's it for your options. Let's see, we'll jump on, start it up, give it a bit of a toot, lights, strap stuff down if you want to. You can get a bale on the back in front of that, alright, no problem. Now I've gone for the 120 km/h one, and that's a bit nippy, shall we say. Yeah, excellent. Right, that's the Lizard TRA 500 by Agrotron. Right, next up we got another quad bike. This is the Lizard Quad Bear by Slootjes Modding, 6.33 megabyte on the download, and as the previous one you're going to find it in cars. We'll scroll along, there we are. So it's 12,600 to buy as standard. Got a few options, so we've got design, original or hand protectors, support and hand protectors, or just support. Gonna go for that really, aren't you, if you want to carry stuff on the front and back. Then on attachers you've got standard, rear hitch, side hitch, which is alright, okay, and then back to standard. Then wheel setup, you've got standard, wheel model 2, more of a road tyre than a quad bike tyre, aren't they? And then back to standard. Main colour, we'll change that to red. It's going to change the main colour. Design colour, we'll change that to purple. And change your handlebar grips and your seat. And then rim colour, obviously it's going to change the colour of your rims. That's a bit bright, isn't it? I can see that coming. Anyway, 83 horsepower, so there's no engine options on it, and it'll do 60 mph. Right, let's jump on, start it up, give it a bit of a toot. Obviously you can put your straps on if you've got anything on the front and the back. Not as quick out the blocks as the previous one we've just seen, but that being said, still 60 mph. Very nice indeed. Right, that's the Lizard Quad Bear by Slootjes Modding. Right, next up we got the Tatra Phoenix L Crane by HR Force and Ferguson, 19.41 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find this in the shop under forestry machines. Scroll along, there we are. 135 grand to buy as standard. Got the usual wheel brands and tyre setups. So then the options really start here. You got bull bar no, yes, or yes with lights, and then standard attachers on the back is standard or with the trailer hitch. And then the engine setup, so you start with 462 horsepower and then a 650, and then you've got a manual version. So the Tatra A is automatic 462 or 650, and then the Tatra M is the manual gearbox version with 462 and 650 there. Obviously on the colour options you got the cabin colour, so we'll change that to anything like that. There we go, berry. Then you got the crane colour, obviously that's going to change the crane colour. Then you got claw colour, that's obviously going to change the claw colour. And then you've got the cabin protection, so you've got that framework behind the cabin. We'll change that to that one. And then you've got rim colour, obviously it's going to change the colour of your rims. So that's your options for you. Obviously, it's got a 440 litre fuel tank and a 49 mile an hour top speed. So let's just jump in. Right, so starting off, obviously, start the engine up, give it a bit of a toot. So you've got lights, bright lights. Then what you need to do, you've got two options. You've got crane group 1 and then extras 2. If we go crane group 1, we do L, B and A to activate the crane. Like so. Then we do L, B again, right stick. Let's move it around so we can see what we're doing. Right stick up and down. We'll obviously move the crane up and down. Like so. Right stick left and right. We'll move the crane around like that. Then RB and right stick left and right moves the boom in and out, although it's moving it right into itself. Then RB and right stick up and down, there we are, moves the arm out like that. Then RB and LB together, left and right, spins it around. Then RB and LB together, up and down, obviously moves the grab in and out. Now if you do Y, we'll change that to extras. And we'll do RB and LB together, rotate crane tool right, like that. It puts the feet out. And then open crane tool will move the hitch for your trailer backwards and forwards. Excellent. Right, so we'll do LB and A. Oh, that only folds the seat down. It's left it out. Never mind. Right. It's alright, that is. Got a bit of forestry on the go. Yeah, very nice indeed. The Tatra Phoenix L crane by HR Forst and Ferguson Bow. Right, next up we've got the Class and Chrome Baler pack with Lizard R90. This is by Hispano and it's 25.64 megabyte on the download. So we then got the Class version there. And we've got the Chrome version there. So these are balers. So as you can imagine, it's going to be in the shop menu under balers. We'll scroll along. There we are. It's 185.5 grand for the Class, and then 185 grand for the Chrome. Now the options you've got are going to be your wheel tyre brands, and then you can change the front colour of the rake to white or grey. Then change the design of the rake to any of those. We'll change the bars of it. So that's your Class version. If we go into the Chrome one, you then got the option of adding a silage additive tank. Change the chassis colour to either green or yellow. Change the frame on the front rakes, and then the colour design of the rake will obviously change the bars with the pins, fingers, whatever you want to call it, on the front there. Now both of these are big, but I do like the options on that. Look at the state of that on the front. I mean, this one requires 245 horsepower to run. It's got a 10 mile an hour working speed, and they've got a 10.3 meter working width. And the Class requires slightly more horsepower, 250 horsepower from your tractor, but obviously they do have varying sizes, both of them 180 to 240 on your bale size. So we'll jump in, start her off. So we'll do L, B and A to unfold it. That puts the back out and then puts some sides down. So rather than just going up and down your field and getting one row at a time, this is going to be able to get loads of rows all at the same time. Well, I say loads, probably get 2 on the go, depending on how big your mower was. But that's excellent. It's going to put it all into the middle for your baler to pick up at the end. That's ace. That is really good. I like that. I like that a lot. Obviously, you pick Chrono or Class. I'm stuck. Pick Chrono or Class, whichever one you prefer. You know, you might be going down the road of having a Class farm. Entirely up to you. But I do like both of these. Excellent. the Class and Chrome Baler pack with Lizard R90 by Hispano. Right, next up we got the Cavernland Enduro Pro 5000F Cultivator. This is by Giant Software, 10.12 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it in the shop menu under Cultivators. So we'll scroll along to the end. There we are, 37 grand to buy. No options on it, requires 240 horsepower from your tractor, got 5 meter working width. Excellent. Right, so let's jump in this tractor, we'll start it up. So LB and A, unfold it like so, puts the sides down, and then once they're done, LB and B, lower it down, and away we go. Cultivating at 5 meters. Excellent, that's the Cavernland Enduro Pro 5000F by Giants. Right, next up we got the Horse Joker 12RT Disc Harrow by Giant Software, 14.61 megabyte on the download, and as you can imagine you're going to find this in the shop on the disc harrows. So we'll scroll along. There we are, 109.5 grand to buy, no options on it, requires 360 horsepower from your tractor, it's got a 12.2 meter working width, and it will run at 11 mile an hour working speed. So let's jump in the tractor. There we are, start it up, LB and A to unfold it. We'll try and clear up some of these earlier shenanigans that we had going on. So it's folded out one lot and it folds it out again. Alright, now LB and B to lower it down, and away we go. Excellent, 12.2 meter working width. Very nice indeed. Right, that's the Horse Joker 12RT by Giants. Right, next up we've got the New Holland Disc Spine 313 by Giant Software, 5.64 megabyte on the download, and it's a mower. So if we go into the shop menu under mowers, we'll scroll along until we find it. There we are, 20.5 grand to buy, no options, requires 90 horsepower from your tractor. It's got a 4 meter working width and it will run at 13 mile an hour. Right, let's jump in here. We'll start it up. So first thing, LB and A will unfold it. Now this is an offset mower, shall we say. So you pull it along and you mow your grass to the left of your tractor. Now if you're turning around at the end, you do LB and right stick. There we are, and that turns it round to the other side. So when you come round the top of your field, you then do the right side. And when you're finished, LB and A, and you put it all away. Ready for transporting. Excellent. It's alright, that is. If that's your sort of thing. Very nice indeed. That's the New Holland Disc Spine 313 by Giants. Right, next up we got the Class Cargo 750 and 760 trailers by Giant Software, 9.69 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find these under trailers. So we'll go in there, we'll scroll along till we find them. There we are. So 67.5 grand for the 750, that's got a 44,500 litre capacity, and then the 760 is 99 grand to buy with a 51,000 litre capacity. So these are both going to take your grass, sugarcane, wood chips, straw, silage, hay and chaff. Now the options are the same on both as in just the tyre brands. Excellent. Right, so if we jump in here, there we are. It is a trailer. So if we do LB and RB and unload here, just a little caution, a word to the wise, if you are under a low roof barn or anything like that, that back part raising up, you may get it caught on the roof, so just keep that in mind. Other than that, it's alright. Very nice. The Class Cargo's 750 760 by Giants. Right, next up we got the Kroger TAW30 by Giant Software, 4.93 megabyte on the download, and it's another trailer. So we'll go in there and we'll scroll along till we find it. There we are, 79.5 grand to buy. It's got a 45,000 litre capacity, and this is pretty much going to take everything apart from like liquids and grapes. But as usual, that's what happens with these take anything trailers. So the only options you've got there are your tyre brands. Excellent. Right, so we'll jump in. And if we do LB and RB like on the others, again, the back opens up, so just be careful if you're going under a low roof. And you've got that ram there that pushes everything out the back. Very nice indeed. It's alright, that is. Right, so that's the Kroger TAW30 by Giant Software. Right, next up here we've got the Krono TX560D by Giant Software, 7.13 megabyte on the download, and it's another trailer. So we'll go in here, we'll scroll along again. Got loads of trailers in here. Right, there we are, 107,000 to buy. Now this is going to be one of your forage crop style trailers. So you're going to have grass, sugarcane, wood chip, straw, silage, hay and chaff in the back. Now you got the option there of cover, no or yes, and then you can change obviously the wheel brands. So we'll jump in this tractor. LB and left on the D-pad opens up the covers like so, and then if we do LB, RB and unload here, that opens the back up. So again, like the others, if you are in a low building, just bear that in mind. We do close that up. If we close the covers, like so, took a while to sort itself out. Once they're closed, you can actually open the back up like so, so you don't need to have the covers open. Just a little tip for you. That's alright, that is. That's the Krono TX560D by Giant Software. Right, next up here we've got the Krono ZX560GD by Giant Software, 23.18 megabyte on the download, and this is a Forage Wagon. So if we go into the shop and then down to Forage Wagons, we'll scroll along to find it. There we are, 161 grand to buy. This is going to do grass, straw, silage, hay and chaff. Then the options you've got there are cover, no or yes. Then you've got wheel brand options, and then silage additive tank. Put my teeth in, no or yes, and that's your options for it. So this has got a 56,000 litre capacity, requires 240 horsepower from your tractor, and it's going to run at 10 mile an hour. Right, jump in this tractor. So if we do LB and RB unload here, so again, the back opens up, so just be careful under a low roof. We'll close that off. So LB and left on the D-pad will open the cover up like so. We'll close it up again. LB and B will lower the pickup on the front. LB and X will turn it on, and off you go, picking up whatever you've got on the ground. Obviously there's nothing going in because I haven't mown this grass, but yeah, that's alright, that is. That is the Krono ZX560GD by Giant. Right, so the last one for the day. This is the Massey Ferguson 7600/7700 large chassis. I can't say chassis. I really need to get some new teeth. Anyway, this is by KRKZ Modding, 24.53 megabyte on the download. You're going to find these in the medium tractors. So if we go there, we'll scroll along till we find it. There we are. Right, so we got the 7600 large chassis, 151 grand to buy, and then the 7700 large chassis, 165 grand to buy. Now the options, if we go into this one, we got configuration, you got standard, 170 kilo front weight, 280 kilo, 390, 500, 610, 720 on the weights, 830 on the weights. front hydraulic, and then back to standard. So you got these usual shenanigans with the tyre options. GPS receiver, no or yes, that puts that on the top. Fenders on the back, you've got standard or wides. Engine setup on the 7600, so you've got 210 as standard, 225, 240, 260, 280, and then back to 210. Then front fenders, you've got standard, default 2 and wide. And then main colour obviously changes the main colour. Design colour changes those little plates, covers, vents, whatever you want to call them, on the front. Then rim colour obviously changes the rim colour. Now if we go into the 7700, all the options are the same bar the engines. So the engine starts off at 210, 225, 240, 260, 280. Oh, they are the same, aren't they? 210 to 280. And double check that minute. Hold on. 210, 280. Yeah. Alright. They're pretty much the same then. 7600, 7700. Right, so I've got the 7700. So we'll jump in. We'll start it up. So the options we've got here. LB and right stick left and right. Opens up the sunroof on the top. LB and right stick up and down. Opens up the left door. And if we spin around the front, RB and right stick left and right moves the, get a bit better look at it, moves the left light like so. LB and RB together and right stick left and right moves that light. So that's your options on the controls. So we'll give it a toot. And there we go. Put some lights on. Excellent. Obviously if you're a Massey fan, medium tractor, this could be one for you. Excellent. It's alright, that is. So the Massey Ferguson 7600, 7700 large chassis. And that's it for your mods for today. Drop it in the comments below which is your favourite, which one you're thinking of using. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, it's muchly appreciated. But that's it for me for today, and I'll see you in the next one.